TJ DeSantis, Julie Kedzie, Memorial Hall, Kansas City, Kansas. We are underway. Pam Sorenson in the orange shorts. Kaitlin Young, black trim in white.
And this fight is tactically so interesting, TJ, because Pam is very much a counterfighter. She likes to draw out people's jabs, move to her right, and hit over the top with right hands and left hooks. And with Kaitlin, she smells blood, and she tends to crowd herself a little bit and not use her reach to her advantage. And so, nice jab there from Young. So, you know, it's interesting to see a little bit of a different start there from Sorenson.
Both these women respect each other immensely, coming from the same area. They've worked together a lot with each other in promoting fights in Minneapolis. It's really crazy that they haven't fought prior to this meeting in mixed martial arts rule set. They've both been circling one another, and tonight it finally happens in Kansas City.
Yeah, matching up, you know, in grappling tournaments and a kickboxing fight, but this is, for both of them, their forte. This is what they love, and this title means quite a bit. Kaitlin Young moving to her left. She really needs to cut off the right hand of Sorenson and cut off her ability to outflank her in that direction.
You talk about the experience of Kaitlin Young fighting all the way back in 2007 on national television, but it's Pam Sorenson that has the edge here in title fights in Invicta FC. She went to the 4th round with Alicia Spencer. She's maybe going to call upon that experience here tonight if this fight goes in the latter championship rounds.
And she has excellent footwork. She showed it in that fight. Alicia Spencer had some very unorthodox. Nicely done for Kaitlin Young on her back. Continued the drive of that double leg. Yeah, Alicia Spencer had some unorthodox attacks, which rattled Spencer, rattled Sorenson, who is now on top and climbing onto Kaitlin Young's back.
Yep, on the back now is Sorenson. She ate a shot, but immediately went for that takedown. Now in business, Young standing. Sorenson trying to get her off balance, shifting her weight.
And she's got double underhooks, and you can see where she's pulling her hips in and yanking down, trying to off-balance her. Now, Kaitlin Young up against the cage.
A bit of a moral victory there for Young not to be stuck on the floor with Pam Sorenson on her back and able to get back in space.
Yeah, and she has, again, developed her ground game, really worked on her wrestling for her, but, you know, you go back to your bread and butter, and that is Muay Thai for Kaitlin Young. It's actually Muay Thai for Sorenson, too, but she has a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and does an excellent job with control, especially from top position.
Mentioned the championship experience in Invicta for Pam Sorenson fighting in a title fight. She was a regional champion at 135 pounds and now focused on featherweight. Nice right hand for Young, and then gets out of the way quickly from Sorenson's offense. Sorenson fires off a right hand. Now feigning that takedown, you see the reaction there by Young.
Yeah, and you know, this is a great tactic here from Sorenson with the level changes and really trying to find those strikes in there. And it's a switch up from her, you know, her usual counter fighting, and I like to see that from her. It's, you know, it's changing things up and it's keeping Kaitlin kind of guessing.
Young stalking Sorenson.
This is where Young needs to be careful. When she smells blood, she overcrowds herself, and that's where she can kind of get off balance. And Sorenson has excellent wrestling from the clinch, but Young's doing a very nice job of staying patient.
This combination there by Young. Sorenson might be in trouble, feigning a takedown. Young has to respect it. Still throwing punches, though, was Sorenson, but she definitely ate some hard hands there from the Striking Viking.
And she's blinking a lot, it looks like, and I don't know if that's kind of a way to, you know, shake nerves off, or if she got hit a little bit in the eye there.
The Striking Viking, while she took time off of mixed martial arts, was actively competing in kickboxing, but now they have to show off that grappling game. Again, gives up her back to Sorenson. One hook in for Pam, now two.
And that was a lovely overhand to a double leg there from Sorenson. Again, double underhook position on Kaitlin Young's back and really fishing for that rear naked choke.
Look for a body triangle. And control. 30 seconds, man, 30 seconds. Roll up on top, David. Roll up on top. Get that, get the hook, get the hook.
And this is where we see, you know, Kaitlin Young, again, being patient. This is where we've seen her kind of, you know, on the ground, we've seen her get frustrated, and that's how she's giving up, you know, submissions. And this is where Sorenson actually shines. And look at that, Kaitlin Young reversing.
Knee to the head of a downed opponent. Maybe a bit Accidental by Kaitlin Young, but it still landed, and we'll see how the referee wants to handle it. Tough situation there. Referee taking a look at Sorenson. It was a foul, not a groin strike, so she is not allowed up to 5 minutes to recover. She will maybe be seen by the doctor or not. It looks like she's going to be okay. Referee talking to Kaitlin Young.
I'd like to see how he measures that out.
Young had a fight in Japan earlier or late last year where that strike would have been legal, but here it is. Look at this.
Look, she's wrapped up. You can see Sorenson's got both hands on the ground, both her knee and her fingertips on the ground. Oh, taking
there it is,
away.
A point taken away by the referee. Sorenson was on her feet and was a legal target for a brief moment, but when the knee landed, it was thrown after she had already gotten back on the floor, and now Kaitlin Young down a point here in round number 1, and final seconds here expiring in round number 1. 5 minutes in the books in our championship fights. It was not an accident that it landed, and fortunately the fight continues.
The Kansas Commission really on that point deduction right away, no warnings or anything like that. We see Kaitlin Young taking the center and driving forward again.
We talk about the composure of Kaitlin Young. It's something that she said that she had more clarity of since taking the time off and coming back, and now she's got to probably feel the fire a little bit. Having that point deducted, we'll see if she can remain calm and not let that affect her fighting style here in this fight.
Yeah, it's funny. She's not a overly emotional person, but when she fights, you can see the emotion, you can see the passion in her desire to finish every fight. Now, what I'm admiring about what Pam Sorenson did in the first round was she was going for a lot more double legs. Oh, nice left kick. You can see Sorenson is so instinctive in her footwork. You know, she circles to her left even when she's hit hard. She's always circling away. She's always looking for, a way to come back with another shot.
Remember, we are scheduled 5 5-minute rounds. This is a championship fight. Nice right hand there by Young. Sorenson coming forward. If you are Kaitlin Young and you think you are down maybe 10-8 after that first round, this is a 5-round fight, a lot more opportunity for her to maybe level the scorecards should she feel that she lost that first round.
Yeah, I think, and she gave up the takedowns and her back 2 times in the first round. Now, once again, Sorenson is on her back, and she lost that point. It looks like she's across the chin, not under the chin yet, but...
And now the crush here by Pam Sorenson. Kaitlin Young has never been submitted in her mixed martial arts career, despite largely having her roots in striking.
Kaitlin Young?
Sorry, 3 submissions. She never won a fight by submission.
Oh, yeah.
Look at the wrong part of the sheet. It happens. But right now, she needs to worry about this. Figure 4, body lock here for Sorenson.
Young's doing a very nice job defending, but Sorenson is wrapping up, and it looks like she's sneaking that left arm under the chin. Kaitlin continues to use the cage, continues to stay measured, and she's got Sorenson's right arm trapped to try and prevent that secondary choke attempt.
Young not allowing Sorenson to get that grip that she had a moment ago. That body lock, though, controlling. And again, the position here, we talked about the fence a lot throughout the evening. Is there anything that Kaitlin Young can do to make Sorenson uncomfortable and maybe not be content to try to work this position with her head against the fence?
Well, I think she needs to definitely be, concentrating on fighting legs too, and also getting, switching her hip position so that she can get a little bit more control when the scramble ensues. Because, by controlling her wrist like that, she's shutting down the rear naked choke, but she's not shutting down what could be a flip to an arm bar. Oh, nice. She wraps it around again.
Trying to roll into the guard, though, is Young. Looks like she's going to get there. Nicely done.
She's got to be careful of that right arm, though, TJ.
Sorenson, a well-rounded mixed martial artist, has offensive attack from her back. So a lot of time here in this round. And for Kaitlin Young, having her back controlled, that speaks volumes to the judges. We'll see if she can launch some offense here. She may be down on the scorecards thus far in this round, but again, 90 seconds, a lot of time to work, and still also a lot of time for Pam Sorenson to maybe grab a hold of an arm.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Sorenson, I like her offense from top position a lot, but she is skilled on her back. She doesn't, ooh, nice elbow there. She keeps her legs in motion. She doesn't slow down, and she's able to connect her, moving her feet with wrapping pieces of her body down. Wow, big welt on the leg there. This is what Kaitlin Young, it's just about getting your head in the right place, getting your hands in the right place, and making sure you're not overextending.
Sorenson trying to get a hold maybe of the head there, controlling the posture with that arm over, but see Young stacking, putting the pressure on Sorenson with that fence.
Yeah, she's in a head and arm position from the guard, and really driving her up against the fence, which, that's, no. All right.
Referee intervenes, stands him up. 30 seconds left in the round.
Little blood there on the left side of Sorenson.
Changing levels and going for that takedown as Sorenson kind of lost her balance trying to get back to her feet. Hard right hand there by Pam off the failed takedown attempt.
This is where Kaitlin Young's, yeah, she needs to stay active in her motion against that right hand and against that takedown. Nice.
Nice combination there at the end of the round by Kaitlin Young. Young immediately taking the center of the octagon, again pressing forward on Sorenson, who's on the perimeter. Nice right hand there, finds a home for Young. Sorenson kind of lit a fire under there, coming back with a hard right hand of her own.
You know, and that's what she's very good about doing is finding a home for that counter shot, TJ. That's right.
Nice 1-2 combination there by Young. Hard winging right hand in return there for Sorenson. Didn't find the mark though.
And you know, it's almost about like Young needs to pin her up against the cage, but with strikes, not with a clinch position. And Sorenson needs to pin her on the ground. It's just a matter of dimensional pinning. Nice overhand. Didn't land, but you could hear a big thwack.
Still a lot of power there for Pam Sorenson. Nice kick there on display by Kaitlin Young. Combination of punches, flurry of action. Sorenson trying to get the fight back to the floor. She does. Scramble here. Now back to the feet in the clinch.
Nicely done. That's where you cannot stay still. You cannot be on your back against Sorenson. You have to stay in motion. And, you know, she really rallies in later rounds. But Kaitlin Young is doing a nice job of corralling her and, you know, forcing her to fight the direction she wants her to fight.
Right hand on the button there for Kaitlin Young. Talk a lot about the kickboxing experience of the Striking Viking. No stranger to kickboxing is Pam Sorenson. She had a kickboxing career before really settling into mixed martial arts. Now settling in position here. Young trying to induce a scramble, gives up her back once again. She's done this several times.
And you know, she feels there's kind of a moral victory there. She knows she can get out of it because she has earlier, but it is giving up a position. And giving up a position against somebody who really doesn't tire that easily is not necessarily what she wants to do. Nicely done, though. I mean, she's rolling, she's reversing it, ending up on top.
Still not out of danger yet, though. Pam Sorenson does have an offensive guard. Halfway point of this championship fight. Sorenson able to get her head away from the fence a little bit, more room to work. Now getting back closer to the cage, elbow there by Young.
She's got to watch that arm bar, but Sorenson's climbing up, using her hips and the cage nicely.
Armbar coming! Pam Sorenson trying to take home the arm and a title! Kaitlin Young in trouble. She can hit three, and she does.
Okay. I was startled. I didn't see what the ref was saying right there.
We didn't have the angle there. Thought we may have had a champion for a brief moment, but now back on the feet.
Yeah, that was odd disengagement. They both just kind of decided to get back up there, but well done by Kaitlin Young to avoid both those submissions. You know, she's doing a great job on her feet, and Sorenson, that double leg was really well timed.
We've seen the takedown offense from Sorenson throughout this fight. Is that changing the striking style of Kaitlin Young in your mind?
I don't think so. I think, you know, I think Kaitlin, she's a measured striker. You know, we saw in Faith McMaw how she is really upping that aggressive, I guess that measured aggression is what I mean. I think she needs to be a little bit lower in her stance, though. She's doing a nice job of avoiding the clinch, mostly. It's when Sorenson gets underneath her that she's in trouble.
Shooting again on the outside is Sorenson, nicely sprawled out, though, by Kaitlin Young, able to stay free and back at space.
And adding that circle to that sprawl is really what's doing her right in her takedown defense. You know, when she's avoiding being put down, when she sprawls deep, but she also circles away, and she gets her hips in the secondary. Single leg taken away.
Kick comes high by Young. Two very evenly matched featherweights vying for the Invicta FC 145-pound crown. Ooh, nice combination there by Sorenson on the inside. Young trying to fire back. Sorenson coming alive with these strikes.
She had Kaitlin pedaling back for the first time in this fight. Wow, taking it from Kaitlin Young.
Wise to it was Sorenson. Final 10 seconds here in this third round. Memorial Hall coming alive. 15 minutes in the books. We are headed to the championship rounds. We talked a lot about the composure of Kaitlin Young, but we've seen the heart and composure on display of Pam Sorenson in the past. You mentioned the Edion Gomes fight. It was a hard fight for her that she really hung tough throughout and said she learned a lot about herself in that fight, and now 100% healthy, she feels that she can rely on that durability once again inside the Invicta FC octagon. Pawing that jab here to start this fourth round is Pam Sorenson.
We know, Sorenson had the medical issue. She had that tumor removed, but Kaitlin Young also faced her own medical issues earlier this year when she had her, well, actually it was last year, but she had her face broken.
A badly broken orbital that she suffered in Australia. Actually kept her on the ground for a few weeks after her kickboxing fight. Sprawled out is Young on this Sorenson takedown.
Sorenson was smart to set that up with strikes, and Kaitlin Young defended it very well because Sorenson immediately dived back in, immediately get Kaitlin going backwards again.
Punching combinations here for Pam Sorenson. Doubling up on that jab, then throwing the right hand, now again on a takedown. Trying to widen her base is Young. Takedown there, nicely executed by Sorenson.
And she turned the corner on that, so she had her leg strapped, and Kaitlin was using the cage to defend. Sorenson turned the corner on that and was able to create that space and really yank her down. And she's got her leg tied up and her hip down. Kaitlin's staying composed right there, but her leg is tied up, and there's a possibility of her turning and giving up her back once again. I'd like to see Kaitlin Young actually push her head the other direction and shift her to the side.
Sorenson inching up the legs, though. We'll see if she can try to get Kaitlin Young away from the fence, but she elects to take the back as Young gives it up once again. That right hook in, I don't believe the left one is, nope, it's not.
It's not, and Kaitlin had her arms trapped, she disengaged. Sorenson's using that arm to strike. She's probably gonna try and snake it in, but you can see Kaitlin working her hips to the left, trying to get her butt to the ground so that she can turn in. Ooh, that was a big shot.
Young has to respect these right hands from Sorenson. Young able to roll to the top position again. Half guard here for Sorenson.
Young needs to really work on that shoulder pressure. Sorenson has good legs and good angles, but it's the shoulder pressure and keeping her pinned which will allow Kaitlin Young to shift a little bit more and get to a position where she can strike if that's what she's looking for. She's digging underneath that elbow, probably looking to tie up the head and arm choke. Probably has to use her head just a little bit more and watch her balance on that half guard. She can get tipped over to the side.
We talk about the evolution of Kaitlin Young, always progressing as a athlete and fighting, and now we see the ground skills from her. I call it a quarter mount.
Yeah, that was well done. She used the leg to pry her knee free, and she's crawling up, and you can see Sorenson on her back. Kaitlin Young
triangle coming. The Striking Viking trying to pull off the first submission victory of her career. Sorenson maybe in some trouble trying to get away. She's able to get back to her base.
Kaitlin Young trying to get the back, but she left her leg extended a little bit too much. Now she's tying up that crucifix position, but Sorenson's turning into her and attempting to get the single leg.
90 seconds remain in this fourth round. Pam Sorenson caught in a submission a moment ago, now trying to get in an offensive position on Kaitlin Young, back to the feet.
And this is all about Kaitlin Young getting that left underhook. Really, this is where somebody should be exploding on that counter shot. They got back to their feet. You want to be the fresh fighter when you get up, you know, shot, counter shot, shot, counter shot. Kaitlin Young tied up here.
Nice elbow there by Kaitlin Young.
And this is where I thought she would be, you know, in clinching positions, I thought she'd be much more vulnerable, but, ooh.
Nice kick to the body there. Now in the clinch, Sorenson elects a jump guard. Trying to get this guillotine framed up. 45 seconds remain in the fourth.
Kaitlin's put her against the cage. I can't see if Sorenson's hands are locked. It looks as though they are, but Kaitlin's draped over the top.
Getting her head free now is Young, uppercut on the break by Sorenson. Less than 30 seconds remain, back at space.
They're so tough, TJ.
The championship fight, champions are made in these championship rounds. Combination of punches by Sorenson, now in on a takedown again. Young has been able to stuff it thus far, but now on her back to end this fourth round.
Sorenson was deep on there, and Kaitlin didn't circle her hips quite enough and get herself free from that.
20 minutes in the book. See some blood on the face of Pam Sorenson as she gets up. 5 minutes left for these featherweights to figure it out. We are underway. Pam Sorenson, Kaitlin Young, the winner of this fight, the new Invicta FC Featherweight Champion. Seen this a few times with Young taking the center of the octagon, Sorenson on the perimeter. Elbow at range by Young, misses. Nice kick to the body by Sorenson. Sorenson tried to land an elbow of her own, finished with a kick on the inside leg of Young.
And she's bouncing, and she's, you know, she's striking a little bit more crisply.
Right hand by Young, followed by a combination from Sorenson. Hear the impact of that kick. On a double leg is Sorenson, able to clear the legs, trying to step over again. Half guard here.
This is where Kaitlin, she's trying to keep Sorenson from crawling up the body, trying to keep her from pinning her. You know, Sorenson does a nice job of combining that ground and pound with those submissions. She really tenderizes her meat before she goes for it. So Kaitlin Young's keeping her wrapped up, keeping her upper body wrapped up, and she's got to use her legs and her hips to try and control Sorenson. I think she's trying to get that left butterfly hook, but not quite getting it there so she can shift her hips over. Bad camera angle for me right there.
In this half guard, touch over 3 minutes remain in this championship fight.
Sorenson's dragging that right knee across into mount. She's got Kaitlin kind of turtled there. She's not fully in mount, but she is in a position to deliver good ground and pound and take the back.
Young not completely giving up the back, but
out the back door, in fact.
Scramble now. Sorenson trying to take the back once again, get those hooks in. Right hook is inserted. Now the left hook is inserted.
I don't know if she's, yeah, again, you know, Kaitlin's fighting hands and she's staying patient. Doesn't look like she's under the chin. A lot of blood there from Sorenson's cheek.
Gotta believe, though, this is where Sorenson wants this fight. Nice strike there, but in control, now trying to wrap up this rear naked choke.
And she's got the ability to when Kaitlin rolls, to also, you know, lock in an arm triangle choke if she wants to. But keeping her frustrated is you know, a good strategy right there. Keeping her fighting for those little things while she works her legs up there and she works hand over hand, digging in there for that RNC.
We've seen this pattern develop a few times in this fight where Pam Sorenson is able to take the back of Kaitlin Young, and Young's been able to turn into her and end up in her guard. We'll see if she's able to do that again. No matter how many times you get out of the rear naked choke position, it only takes one submission to win the fight, and Pam Sorenson would like to wrap that up. She's on the jawline there.
She's also stretching her out, and Kaitlin Young trapping the wrist once again. See Sorenson maneuvering around, trying to use that to her advantage so she can get top position, and Kaitlin's keeping her kind of wedged up there against the fence. Sorenson, again, she does a nice job of using hands to feed, hands to feed. She keeps both in motion at the same time. I like the way Kaitlin's using her feet to strip Sorenson's locked positioning. She also needs to push her hips a little bit, but that's nicely done there with her hips. That leg is perfect.
Since its inception back in 2012, the featherweight division has been one that Invicta has put a lot of effort and focus in. Names like Chris Cyborg, Megan Anderson, Felicia Spencer have held that title. We are just over 30 seconds away from crowning the 4th ever Invicta FC Featherweight Champion. Pam Sorenson in control of Kaitlin Young. Body triangle really securing this position. Final 20 seconds left in the fight.
And keeping Kaitlin focused on that left arm has allowed her to kind of get that figure 4 position a little bit more and then drag that left arm back in across the jaw. It's frustrating, those little rabbit punches. They're frustrating and they piss you off more than anything, but they also win on you. You know, that frustration is actually what can be points in the other person's kind of mental arsenal.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we go to the scorecards. Here are your score totals. Judge at Octagon side, Kevin Champion scores at 50-44. Craig DeVilbiss 49-45, and Stephen Graham 48-45 for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new Invicta FC Featherweight Champion of the world, out of the red corner, Pam Bam Sorenson.
Dominant in victory, Pam Sorenson, the new champ. She'll speak with our Laura Senko.